So Germany is facing this massive decision, one that could really define its democracy for years to come. The far-right AfD party is surging, and the country is now debating whether to use its most extreme option, banning the party altogether. But here's the big question. Is this ultimate legal weapon a necessary defense to protect the Constitution? Or is it a strategic trap that could just blow up in their faces? That's what we're going to unpack here. And make no mistake, this is a huge gamble. The AfD is polling somewhere between 20 and 30%. And because of that, Germany is seriously thinking about using Article 21 of its constitution, the so-called ultima ratio or last resort, to outlaw a major political party. Okay, and this is where things get really interesting, kind of weird even. The legal case for a ban is actually surprisingly strong. But in a strange twist, the AfD's success, well, that might just be the very thing that makes them most vulnerable in court. So the whole legal case comes down to this one key idea: potentiality. Germany's constitutional court has basically said that to ban a party, it's not enough for them to just have anti-constitutional ideas. They have to have a real shot, a credible potential to actually pull off their anti-democratic agenda. And here's the paradox in action. You see, back in 2017, they tried to ban another party, the neo-Nazi NPD, and it failed. Why? The court basically said, look, these guys are too small, too politically irrelevant to be a real threat. They didn't have that potentiality. But the AfD today? Oh, with their electoral power, they clear that bar easily. It's kind of wild, right? Their strength is actually their legal weakness. So legally speaking, the case for a ban looks pretty solid. But here's the million-dollar question. Is a legal fix really what's needed here? Or are we just slapping a Band-Aid on a much, much bigger problem? Right, because there's this whole other way to look at it. The argument goes that this isn't really a legal issue at all. It's a social one. The rise of the AfD isn't about a sudden wave of extremist thinking. It's about a deep, growing mistrust in the government, in the system itself. And if you look at the numbers, you see something fascinating. The percentage of Germans who are actually far-right extremists, it's pretty small, like around 4%, and it doesn't really change. But the number of people voting for the AfD, it's way, way bigger. We're talking 25% or more. That huge gap, that's what's called sociological decoupling. Which brings us to this really powerful idea, summed up right here. The problem isn't the supply, it's the demand. The problem isn't just that a party like the AfD is on the menu, it's that so many people are lining up to order it. And that demand comes from what some sociologists are calling a community of mistrust. Now, these folks aren't all marching in lockstep with some extreme ideology. No, what unites them is a shared feeling that the system is broken and that they've been left behind. For them, the AfD is just a tool, a container, a way to scream, we're not happy at the establishment. Okay, so if a ban isn't the answer, what is? Well, the alternative is something called the war of attrition. Now, this isn't a quick fix. It's the opposite. It's about slowly, methodically fixing the things that made people so angry in the first place. It's a long, hard slog, and that's a tough sell in politics. And it's all built on this idea of output legitimacy. It's actually pretty straightforward. A government earns your trust not by what it says, but by what it does. Does it work? Does it deliver on the basics? And listen, this isn't some high-minded academic concept. This is about real, everyday life. I mean, think about it. When your train is always late, when the bridges look like they're falling apart, when the schools are struggling, and you can't get a simple appointment at a government office, each one of those little frustrations adds up. It becomes proof that the system is failing you. And that is exactly why a ban could backfire so badly. For that whole community of mistrust, a ban just proves their point. It sends the message, see, the government doesn't care about fixing our problems. They just want to use their power to shut us up. So, what this all boils down to is a really clear choice for Germany. It's a clash of two totally different philosophies. Do you solve this with law, or do you solve it with sociology? Let's put them side by side. Path one is the legal strike. Think of it like a quick, risky surgery. You go in and you try to cut out the symptom, the party itself. Path two is the war of attrition. This is like long-term physical therapy. It's slow, it's maybe painful, but it's designed to fix the underlying injury, that deep lack of trust.
And depending on which path they take, you can imagine three very different futures. Scenario 1, the legal strike. The ban works, but the movement just goes underground, maybe even gets more extreme. Scenario 2. The boomerang. The ban fails in court. Wow. That would be a massive win for the AfD, making them look like martyrs. And Scenario 3. The war of attrition. No ban. Instead, they buckle down for the long, hard work of actually making the government work better for people and earning back that trust.
And that really brings us to the core argument of this whole analysis, and it's a powerful one. It's this idea that, every single train that runs on time is a better argument against the AfD than any legal filing ever could be. So in the end, Germany's stuck with this incredible dilemma. What do you do when the tool designed to be your last resort might actually be your biggest risk? It's a question that, honestly, every democracy should probably be thinking about right now.